During our conversation, Harold Levy was imposing, attempting to intimidate me. It's clear the man does not like me, and the feeling is mutual. I'm certain he's up to no good, and I suspect it has something to do with Charlotte May. The chemicals I found appear to match the crime scene, no question there. There are, however, some things that still remain unanswered. A threatening note in Harold Levy's flat seemed to provoke his attack on Tony Morgan. Is this related to Charlotte May? The note accused Harold of illegal activities, but what evidence here proves it? Harold said he was listening to Kings of the Nile in his flat at 10:50, whilst Charlotte May was being taken. But can I disprove his alibi? A threatening note in Harold Levy's flat seemed to provoke his attack on Tony Morgan. Is this related to Charlotte May? The note accused Harold of illegal activities, but what evidence here proves it? A threatening note in Harold Levy's flat seemed to provoke his attack on Tony Morgan. Is this related to Charlotte May? The note accused Harold of illegal activities, but what evidence here proves it? Harold said he was listening to Kings of the Nile in his flat at 10:50, whilst Charlotte May was being taken. But can I disprove his alibi? Harold said he was listening to Kings of the Nile in his flat at 10:50, whilst Charlotte May was being taken. But can I disprove his alibi? There must be some small detail I'm missing on some of the evidence. A threatening note in Harold Levy's flat seemed to provoke his attack on Tony Morgan. I'm sure that some of the... There. Everything left on the board is relevant. A threatening note in Harold Levy's flat seemed to provoke his attack on Tony Morgan. Is this related to Charlotte May? The note accused Harold of illegal activities, but what evidence here proves it? That's right, I'm onto something. Now, what does the rest of it mean? There must be some small detail here. So, Harold lied to me about his alibi. There was no way he could have been listening to Kings of the Nile on his broken radio. The stolen cars are worrying indeed, but don't seem to be related to Charlotte May. The chloroform-like chemical I found is my only real lead. He must have hidden those bottles for a reason. Ultimately, this is all conjecture. I can't prove he's taken Charlotte May. Sorry, give me a moment.
Dad? Why's the door locked? Can you let me in, please? I want to talk to you about something. Dad, I'm waiting. Why was the bolt on?
Well, what with everything, one can't be too careful.
Fair enough.
What did you want to talk about?
I've just come back from having a very interesting conversation with your landlord.
Harold Levy, really?
What do you suppose he wanted to talk to me about?
Well, actually, Catherine, I I wanted to talk to you about that.
So he was telling the truth. You know, he was so close to pressing charges, and it's not my job to talk him out of it. I could have been arresting you right now, or any one of my colleagues, whom I can assure you would not be as nice as me about it.
Why? He seemed fine after I spoke to him.
You trespassed and damaged his property. And don't try to talk your way out of it.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, to be honest.
Why do you think he didn't press charges? The reason he didn't want the police searching in the first place was because he was hiding what basically amounts to chloroform. The same thing he used to drug Charlotte May. He had a gallon of the stuff.
I know.
Well, so why don't you arrest him?
It's a completely different brand.
Well, have you checked his orders? He might have switched recently.
I have.
Then why does he have chloroform in the first place?
He uses it to dilute oils. It's a side scam to rip off his customers. You would have known that if you were working on the case, but you're not.
Well, diluting goods is illegal too, surely. Arrest him for that, and you can interrogate him.
And all he'd get is a fine. And that would be the end of it.
I'm sorry, but...
You're not an investigator anymore, Dad. I know you want to help, but trust me, you're not. In fact, you're making my job that much harder.
Catherine, I was merely trying
You made me a promise. From now on, I just want you to honour it.
I can't.
Why not?
I promised Tony Morgan that I would help find Charlotte May.
Of course you did.
Thankfully, Harold Levy didn't press charges against me. He probably didn't want the police searching any more than they had to. It confirms my suspicion that Harold is up to no good, but I can't convince Catherine to investigate further. Am I wasting my time watching my neighbours? Mrs. Doer is old and frail. Is she even capable of such a thing as attacking a man and taking his child? I made Mr. Morgan an impossible promise, but if I stopped now, it was all for nothing. Mrs. Doer's home once looked out onto a field of dahlia flowers. Her husband built the manor house with shipping company money. Now it's surrounded by all of this. Might have to zoom in a little further. So this is the police's base of operations. By the sounds of it, they've forgotten all about Charlotte May. I wonder if Levy will even notice his key is missing. Her poster is already in the gutter. Am I the only one looking for Charlotte May? There's a light on downstairs. Mrs. Doerr is still awake. And here I am, spying on an elderly lady. Now this is interesting. What is she doing under there? It looks like she's hiding something. But what is it? Well, that floorboard is my first port of call. What could she be doing in the basement? And how did she get down there? This is getting stranger by the minute. I wonder if that's anything to do with Charlotte May. Perhaps I should leave it to them. I'd give anything to know what's in that box. Maybe it has something to do with what was hidden under the floorboard. That's my second port of call. Now she seems to be doing something. Dear God, that's not her at all. Mrs. Doe is in danger. Unless they're working together. I need to get a photograph of the intruder.
You there! Stop what you're doing at once! I said stop! You won't get away with this.